And hello again, everyone. We are back in the Jacket Corner. I'm Mickey Shadrix. The Oxford Yellow Jackets coming off a big 24-0 shutout victory over Pell City last Friday night at Lamar Field. Big win, big rival win, big region win. Oxford keeping their playoff hopes alive with the victory. Joined now by head coach Ryan Herring, who is sporting a little bit of a different look for us this week, a look that was similar to about this time last year. So why don't you explain to folks who may not know why you've got the new do this week?
Well, you know, we have a standing agreement. Anytime there's a shutout, the players get to pick a coach and shave his head, and I was a lucky guy.
That tells you how much they love you, right, Coach?
That's right. They love me. They love me a lot.
Well, maybe you can get another shutout in the next game and pick on somebody else. Let's talk about the game. It was a big win. We talked about it last week. You had the rivalry aspect to it. Obviously, regarding the region situation, you had to win to keep your playoff hopes alive. It seems like with your schedule this year, which is real tough and real demanding, and there's really no easy win on this schedule, every time you've kind of had your back to the wall, your team has responded. Friday night was exactly that case.
I think that's a good point right there. Every time that it looks like woe is me or things aren't going our way, the kids bow up and find a way to win. And that's totally them. They bow up and they find a way to win because, you know, me or none of the coaches, we don't get out there and play. We don't make a tackle. We don't run the ball. They do it all. And when they win, all the credit goes to them.
You know, I'm a little older school, and when you win with defense, which is what you did Friday night, that really says something about the grit of your football team. You absolutely dominated them defensively. They had no chance to win that game the way your defense played.
Well, you know, we talked about it yesterday. It takes offense, defense, special teams. It takes all three phases. And at times this year, special teams has hurt us, defense has hurt us. Offense really hadn't hurt us much this year. But if we can get all three of those together, all in one accord, you know, usually, you know, you're going to win the game. And Friday night, the defense stepped up and played. And, you know, we didn't score a bunch of points offensively, but it doesn't matter because if the other team's not scoring, you always have a chance to win. And Pell City didn't score. We ended up winning the game.
And it's demoralizing for the opposition when they're coming into your place and your defense just giving them no room to breathe.
Well, you know, one of the biggest momentum builders in a game is holding people 3 and out, having to go 3 and punt, 3 and punt, 3 and punt. It gives you more momentum. Their playbook never opens up. We talk about that all the time. If you can keep teams from having long drives or longer drives or big plays, sometimes they may not see where some weaknesses are. If you can go 3 and out, it's big in so many ways. And we did that Friday night. We started out making them go 3 and out, and we almost the whole game kept them to 3 and outs. So I was extremely pleased with the defensive effort.
And we'll talk more in the show about what's coming up, but you've got an open week this week, and then you've got another big region game with Chelsea that'll basically decide your position in the playoffs. How are you going to handle the open week this week? I'm sure at this point in the season, as many games as you've played, it comes at a good time.
Well, it's a much-needed time, especially with the schedule we've had this year. But we gave them Monday off, brought them in Tuesday, just mostly lifted and a little conditioning, and then we'll practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday with pads, regular practices. And so then come next Sunday, it'll be back to business as usual.
All right. When we come back, we'll head out to Lamar Field for last Friday night's game with Pell City and check out all the highlights. Stay with us as we continue in the Jacket Corner.
Into their standard 2 deep, hands it off right side, trying to get the corner. Big time. Hands it off, breaks it up the middle. Breaks another tackle. Ladies and gentlemen.
And it's time now for first half highlights. Last Friday night's game with Pell City. Jackets coming onto the field back at home against the Panthers.
We start out great right here. They run a little outside zone play, and Trey Franks does a great job of containing it and putting his face on the guy and making a tackle. You know, that's one thing we've talked about all year. We got to get bodies on bodies. Right there, we got 3rd and 1, and Jermaine Taylor and Kenny Britt do a great job of stopping the inside zone right there. Right here, we got the ball, give it to Gamble, and he breaks it. And I thought he got in, but I think they knocked him out at about the 1-yard line. But a great job blocking, great job running the football right there. We give it back to him right here, just a little inside power play, and we get in the end zone. So we start off great. It's a great way to start off against your rival. Back on defense right here, we're dropping about 8 people, so we really can't find anywhere to throw the ball. We end up getting a coverage sack right there. Real proud of the secondary. Played a lot better this week. They tried a little slow screen to the running back right there, and Kenny Britt sniffs it out. Great job by Kenny. He played great. Almost played like a senior. He's a sophomore, and he's playing like a senior at times, so I'm really proud of him. Anyway, we're dropping 8 in coverage again right there. Guy can't find anybody to hit, and so, we make him punt. Back on defense right here. We missed a tackle right there. We've got 3rd and long, and Ronnie Isaac just hits the guy on the hip. We got to hit him a little lower. He's a pretty thick kid, so we just got to either lock up or we got to hit him lower and get him down right there. We give it a long 3rd down run. We can't do that. Right here, back on 1st down, and dadgummit, they throw it right to Tommy Rudolph right there. Hits him right in the chest. Worst place he can hit him with the ball. But anyway, at least we get the break up. Anyway, right there, get another coverage sack. I thought we did a great job of rerouting receivers, dropping back into coverage. Quarterback's 10th grader, and he took a big boom right there. Kenny Britt really lowered the boom on him right there. That was a tough night for that kid. I imagine next year and the next, he's going to be wanting some revenge. Anyway, got the ball back on offense right here. Do a good job moving down the field. Hit Cookie right there on a little comeback route. Great throw, great catch, good protection. Here's Weber right here on a little read play. Keeps it, gets us 5 yards inside. We run it again, another 5 yards. As you can see right there, we're moving that line of scrimmage back. Real proud of the offensive line. There's Gamble right there on a little student body right. We don't call it that, but that's what I like to call it, just student body right. And boom, right there, Kevin Johnson does a great job blocking the edge. Gamble turns inside for a touchdown. We've got a 14-0 right before the half right here. We just can't give up a big play. Once again, we've got pretty good coverage, especially down the field. I say, we've been hurt at some this year, but I thought we improved. Right here, Bot gave one right here. Sears came up and kind of had a bad angle on the guy, but Isaac saves a touchdown. Once again, though, we've got a good coverage sack. Guys got nowhere to throw it. They do a good job protecting the quarterback with their hands, don't they?
A little holding on the edge, maybe.
Here we are right for that. Golly, Kenny Britt, what a lick right there, and a good pass breakup by Rudolph and KJ Adams right there. So we're going to have 14-0. We feel good.
There you see the score, 14-0. Great first half for your defense and your offense, your whole team. Just a great response coming out after the tough loss to Ben Russell. And, we talked about the Pell City game being a big rival game for you. And everyone around Oxford knows what happened a couple of years ago when they came into Lamar Field and knocked Oxford out of the playoffs. I know you're kind of having to reinvent this as a rivalry and the kids and the football players at Oxford. It seemed as though the emotion was kind of there that you needed to see in a rival game.
Yeah, you're always worried. You don't want the other team to be playing high on emotion. You're not, especially in rival games. And I thought our kids did an excellent job. I mean, it was near perfect effort. I thought they were ready to play, they wanted to play, and they did play. So I couldn't be prouder. And
you mentioned the line of scrimmage moving. It was very, very easy to see in those highlights, whether you're on defense or whether you're on offense. That ball snapped, it moved in your direction.
I was real proud of the offensive line. You can see they moved it. We didn't score 100 points, but we moved it when we had to. Defensive line, of course, they were a lot bigger, but our defensive line stepped up, played great technique, played low. Coach Cochran does a great job with them, so I was real proud of both fronts. When your defense is playing like this and you like the matchup with your defense, it enables you to be maybe a little more conservative on offense. Was that maybe part of the reason you didn't put as many points up? Yeah, it was a wet night. It rained before the game. It rained from halftime on, basically. So we wanted to be sure to be smart. I don't know if you call it conservative, just be smart. Let's don't throw it when we don't have to. Let's put two hands on it. Let's make sure that we don't give them the ball either through the air or on the ground. And there's nothing wrong with punting. It's one of those nights. We're playing good defense. There's nothing wrong with forcing. There's nothing wrong with punting. Don't force stuff. Let's just let the defense keep playing and play smart on offense. All right, we'll be back with second half highlights in just a moment. But as we go to break, here's a look at the Oxford High School marching band from last Friday night's game.
All right, we're back on the program. 14-0 heading into the second half. And, Coach, they didn't get much yardage in the game. Really, just 2 or 3 plays is where they got all the yards.
Yeah, they got a little run right there. But, we just a couple plays right here. We just didn't get off blocks real well. And, just got to get that corrected. But they put a couple little trick plays in, a little handoff pass right there, got us. But we still buckled down and kept him out of the end zone, which is huge. Got a pass rush right here that flushed him out. Ronnie Isaac comes up, make a great tackle. They get in a little wing T set. Looks like they're going to try to run a buck sweep right there, and they fumble. They're not really an under center team, so that's one thing I don't understand is why people who don't ever get under center all of a sudden do get under center. Because a lot of times you see a fumble like that. But hey, it's a stop. Great job by the defense getting the ball back on offense right here. Turn and toss it to Gamble. And right here, we just kind of, we're just basically saying, look, we're going to run it right here. We're going to eat this clock up, throw it a little bit. And Ty does a good job right here hitting Ryan Stovall. Ryan did a great job, had 2 real good catches Friday night. We try to sweep right here, and Ty peels back, gets a good block right there. And we ran about 25 yards and got 2, which is what we needed for the first down, so it ended up working out. But when 21's got the ball, you never know where he's going to go, and he's tough to bring down. You better get 2 guys on him. But the offensive line right there, we're pulling on a little quarterback counter play. Just offensive line did a great job. They answered the call Friday night. And there it is, Gamble just squeezing in. He's just got a knack for getting in there, and great job blocking, of course. We didn't give a kickoff return up this week. It seems like we do that more than we don't. So we worked on that all week, just kickoff coverage. There was Kenyon Britt with a great tackle right there. Tanner Lloyd does a great job right here. Takes on a lineman, then makes a tackle on a little sweep play. Real proud of Tanner Friday night. And Jacob Shake also, both of them did a good job. There's Ty on a little zone read. Pulls it, gets about 5. Got a counter right there, and there's Sip running hard right there. Watch him, breaks back out. And boy, you think he's gone, then next thing you know he's not. But a great job protecting the football and running it hard right there and not giving up on play. Just being smart, trying to run the ball, and Sips gets about 5 yards right there, just running hard. And right now we're just protect that football. We're just preaching, protect it. Go in and try for a field goal right here. First field goal we've had in 2 years, I know, since I've been here, and I think the year before I don't think they had one. So Keaton Boatredley right now is kind of our hero. He hit a field goal. I know that sounds funny, but you don't see many field goals come from us. There's Gamble right there, saves a touchdown on kickoff. Right now, we kind of got them where we want them. We just got to keep them hemmed in, and we do a good job right there. We're playing real conservative on defense, keeping the secondary back, just not going to give up a deep ball, make them throw it short, and rally up, make a tackle. Don't do a good job right there of locking up. We've got to lock up better. They're trying some screens because we're playing so deep, but we play the screens. The quarterback really has nowhere to go right here, and we get to him before he can get to the chains. And he's just a sophomore. He's going to be a good quarterback. You watch that boy right there is going to be a good football player for Pell City in the years to come. And now we're kind of just clock management, just trying to run it out right here. Got a 24-0 lead.
And your final score, Oxford with a shutout victory over Pell City, 24-0. Again, Coach, as we open the show with the fact that this is such a huge win, beating your rival, big region win for you for the playoff picture, and being able to go into this open week and do what you got to do after coming off a win.
Everything about it was good. The timing, us getting an open week after it. I could sit here and tell you 5 or 6 things that worked out in our favor. We just feel real blessed right now. We got an extra week to get a couple of guys healthy. We've got Jermaine Taylor, who's had an ankle deal going on, and Gamble's kind of had a bruised calf. So, we got a couple of guys that their shoulders are banged up. But this week comes at a good time. And we got to make sure we make the most of it. But we also got to make sure we prepare right and get ready for Chelsea, because Chelsea's going to be a tough opponent, a week from now. So, and that's an important game. Just like the Pell City game was important, this Chelsea game is just going to be just as important.
And we'll have more on that game with Chelsea coming up in just a few moments. But right now it's time to recognize some of the outstanding individual performances from Friday night's win over Pell City. Coach, walk us through the player awards for the week.
Well, this week we got Ron Stovall with the Air Jacket Award. It's been going to Gamble and Cookie back and forth, so I was glad to see Ryan get that award this week. Racehorse goes to Gamble again. Game Breaker, we're giving the Game Breaker Award instead of to one guy. We're giving it to the whole defense for the shutout. Just proud of the defense of where they played and practiced all week. Most hits, Kenny Britt. We've talked about Kenny a lot this year, being a sophomore, but he's playing like a senior, so real proud of Kenny. Highest grade defensive line, Cole Hurd. Cole's not the biggest, not the fastest, but he's got a big heart. Highest grade offensive line, Noah Lynch. You know, Noah Lynch might be in better shape than anybody on the team. He's just a warrior. Meanest jacket, Kenny Britt. Takeaway, KJ Adams, he got a fumble recovery. Hammer Award, Kenny Britt. I think Kenny had 3 hard licks in the game. You know, it's just unbelievable year so far for a sophomore. Special teams, Keaton Borelli, perfect on extra points. Did a pretty good job kicking off and then hit the field goal. First field goal we've had around here in a few years. Pride Award this week goes to Cameron Sargent. Cameron gives our starting offense a great look every week, so we're real happy to recognize Cameron this week with a Pride Award.
And congratulations to the players selected for the individual player awards for this week. Take a break and come back and look ahead to the big region matchup with Chelsea as we continue here in the Jacket Corner.
Serve the people that I grew up with, and just thank everybody for their support for me too.
How tall is Britt?
As you get in,
Well, we're back on the Jacket Corner in our remaining moments. Time to look ahead to what's coming up now for the Oxford Yellow Jackets at such a crucial time of the season. Here's a look at the 6A Region 3 standings after last week's action, and there sits Opelika still at the top of the heap, in control of their own destiny, 6-1 overall, undefeated in the region. Benjamin Russell looks pretty solid there at number 2 with a 3-1 region record, 7-1 overall. Then it kind of gets interesting there, Coach. We'll get you to chime in here. Chelsea there sitting there at 2-2 at the 3rd seed in the region. You're 4th at 2-3, but your matchup with Chelsea coming up Friday night could shift that.
Well, I don't have a crystal ball or anything, but I know this: if we go beat Chelsea, we should be 3rd in the region, just by looking how some things could pan out. And if we don't beat Chelsea, then we got to depend on other people to lose and win and stuff like that. But you've got all those teams with 3 losses right there. So we need to go beat Chelsea. That's what it boils down to. We need to go beat Chelsea, and that would put us and them as far as as lost games in regions with a tie, but would have them head to head. Pell City and Valley, we've got Pell City head to head. Valley's got us head to head, but I think Valley, they haven't played Benjamin Russell yet. And I believe they'll lose to Benjamin Russell, so that'd give them a 4th loss. So, right now, Opelika's 1, Ben Russell's 2, and then I think us and Chelsea, right now, it's the big game for 3. But if you don't win that game, then you got to get real lucky to be 4. So the best thing to do is go beat Chelsea. And if we beat Chelsea, we're in the playoffs, possibly 3, but definitely 3 or 4.
And you mentioned Valley there at 1-3 in the region. They played the game of the year against you, and game you were ahead in the 4th quarter. So they pretty much that's been about the high point for them. But again, Oxford and Chelsea controlling their own destiny, and that leads us to the next matchup for the Yellow Jackets. Chelsea and the Yellow Jackets meeting on October the 24th. Obviously not this Friday, but the next Friday. They're 5-2 overall. Coach, you're 4-4. Again, you pretty much stated it. The winner of this game controls their own destiny.
Well, I mean, that's how you want it. You don't want to have to depend on other people to beat people or lose to people. If we go beat Chelsea, we're going to be 3rd in the region. And that's just what we need to do. Instead of worrying about and hoping for other people to win or lose, we just need to take care of us in our game with Chelsea, and everything will work out great.
Talk to us about Chelsea. What do they look like on film? Kind of team
real scrappy. They remind me of Vestavia. Real scrappy. They got a quarterback who really can make things happen with his feet and with his arm. They got a couple of guys that can really run. They're kind of like us, though. They're not real big on either side of the ball. They play hard. I think it's just going to be a tough, hard-fought game, and I think, of course, like always, whoever plays the smartest, makes the least mistakes will win the game.
And again, talk about your philosophy with the open week this late in the season. You talked about some of the injuries you've got. Give us a little bit of a rundown again about how you'll handle the off week.
Well, Monday was a day off. Tuesday was lifting and conditioning. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be just practices, working on us getting better, working on improving things we need to improve on, and just slowly putting the Chelsea flavor to it. And then we'll bring the kids in on Sunday, and then Sunday will be They'll know the game plan. So that'll give us 1 day head start than what we usually have. Usually, we get it put in on Monday, but this week we'll get it put in on Sunday since we don't have a game to review from the previous Friday night since we're open. So Sunday will be a day one where usually Monday is. So we'll have a full extra day of preparation for Chelsea, which, ought to help.
It's just very unusual this late in the season to be having a chance to catch your breath and work on yourself a little bit with this open week. Obviously, you made the choice with this new 11-week window. You played a real game that first week on August the 22nd. Did it work out are you glad you did the schedule this way?
You have your fingers crossed when you do it. But us being able to play Southside, which is close by, I couldn't turn that down. And then us having fall break with school and being able to put an open date in fall break, I mean, that was just the stars kind of aligned for us. That worked out great. And it gives us time right before the playoffs get started to get a little breather, get well, and then play 2 games, and the playoffs are there. But, it'll be all for naught if you don't go beat Chelsea. So the main thing is we got to take advantage of the situation we have here open week, but we've got to prepare and go beat Chelsea.
Well, we won't be with you next week with a new show. The show you're watching now will basically be the show we'll carry on through for the next couple of weeks. So wherever you're watching this, we'll be back with you after the Chelsea game for a new edition of the Jacket Corner to break down all the highlights and be talking hopefully about a playoff berth and wrapping up the season with a very good Decatur team. Coach, good luck with the open weekend. We'll see you again in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for watching this week's Jacket Corner. We'll see you again next time right here.